You know what helps? Turning on the mic. Yeah, the mic was actually turned off. Ugh, because that's the kind of week I'm having. Yesterday the basement flooded. I'm in the basement right now. The wall just behind me, uh, has one of those well windows. It has a cap on it, but an icicle from the roof fell down, pierced a hole in it. It filled up with snow, and then when we got to 50 degrees yesterday, all the snow melted and then came down over to my computer area and the bookshelf that you can't see that I'm pointing at. And in other fun but weird news, I found out a friend of mine tore his tear duct. And I can't figure out how that happens. Right? Endless Nine? I didn't know that was a thing that you could do. And I have no idea how he did it. So I just found out like literally like 2 or 3 minutes ago. So I didn't have time to ask because I was like, oh, I can't have this conversation right now. I have to get ready for class. But I will ask. And I will find out how one tears their tear duct. And if you're interested, I'll let you know next week. Blinking fast. I don't know. It's so bizarre. I don't under. I don't. I just. I think he just broke my brain. An infection. Is that what it is? You get an infection and then uh you're a med student. All right, Ninja Taco knows what's up. Sorry, I am super stiff today, so we are gonna play, but I am gonna stretch first. Oh God. Medical gamer. You should make some medical games for, teaching people about stuff. Okay, the cat's been sleeping there all day. And now, yep, that's what we're doing. We're gonna leave now that class is happening. The source that was revealed to you via divine revelation. Fair. Are we gonna have a problem? Because it looks like we're gonna have a problem. Hey, Kels, how are you? Cat, yes, the cat who is in the wrong screen. Ugh. She has been very bad recently. We're fighting. Um, I should make you redeem points to pet the cat. Uh, Yesterday during a meeting, I had to suddenly jump up because she decided to start eating a bowl of chili, and I had to stop her. Otherwise, that's how puking happens. What is Never Alone? Never Alone is a beautiful, beautiful little game. Besides your state of being, is that good or bad? I feel like never being alone sounds bad. Just as bad as always being alone. That is also bad. Can I interest you in laying down so that I can teach class now? So it's a game about, uh, well, the cat stepped on the button. I'm gonna have to get rid of her. We're gonna have problems. Find my cursor. Cursor. She's a little pink. She's basically a puka. Does anybody know what a puka is? A puka. Yes. I don't think that's how it's. Well, I know that that's not how it's spelled. Um, but like phonetically, that would be it. P-O-O-K. A puka is a shapeshifter. Yes. From Irish folklore. Yes. Look at you. Mischievous or malignant goblin or specter held in Irish folklore to appear in the form of a horse and to haunt bogs and marshes. So from my understanding, the horse is the most common form, but they can take any form. Um, and I am convinced that my cat is just a puka. All right, I am going to get rid of her because we do got to work now. So say bye, honey. I was calling her honey, not y'all. If I put you here, are you going to be good? You got to lay down though. Lay down. All right, we are all good. I distracted her with some toys. It's like having a toddler. You just throw something shiny at it and it's like, woo! If the cat turns off stream, you all get A's. No, I mean, if the cat turned off stream and so nobody could get the participation credit, I would 100% say, okay, everybody gets 1 free point for today, but you're not going to get an A for the semester. Uh, uh. Okay, so where does this you paid the cat to distract the professor? All right, that's it. Largely fails. Whole semester gone. All right, so this is a game about Inuit culture. Um, and I love this game for many reasons, um, not least of which is a lot of um, video game culture, um, a lot of video games, excuse me, um, uh, come from basically two behemoths. They come from Western European culture, which includes America and Canada, right? Because we're all, the white people. Um, and Japan. Like these are the two powerhouses, right? Um, but some of that also has to do actually with systemic racism and representation, um, that we will talk about later in the semester when we get to representation, um, whatever day that is. Um, but a game like this doesn't come from one of those behemoths. So it is, a look into what other lore and what other worldviews, one, that just exist in the world, and also that also lend to good play and good games. Um, You can't see your messages appearing on screen. Can you all see me? I see you fine, Liquid Osmium. At least I do now. This is not a Twine game. I don't know. I don't actually know what engine. Are you sure you want to start a new game? All progress since your last save. Yeah, I've played this game several times already. Also, yeah. I really hope I'm pronouncing it right. That's weird about the messages. All right, yeah. So these are an Alaska Native people who have thrived for thousands of years in one of the most formidable environments on Earth. I would agree, formidable environments, because I wouldn't want to live in Alaska. No offense to Alaska, I am not that strong. Um, that takes a braver, stronger person than I am. All right, we are going to just continue. So they mentioned something about cultural insights, and I will show you one of those later. So I have not heard that about the infanticide. However, I will say this, that infanticide um, is something that has happened cross-culturally throughout the ages for many reasons. There is game audio. Can you guys not hear it? It is naturally very quiet. I should say naturally, that's not the word I wanted. It is very quiet anyways, so I'm going to pump it way up and we'll see what happens. Okay, so there's a couple of things I'm going to point out that do kind of have to do with representation, but that's because I always struggle with should I use this game for this lesson or should I use it for representation? And every semester I end up doing it for this just because I don't have a better game yet to play for this lesson. But that voiceover, for example, was in their native language, right? So it was not. They gave you the titles, the subtitles in English because, you know, they want more people to play it than just native speakers. But I love that they do that with the native language. That they that they don't whitewash this game. I also love the fact that the main character is a little girl. I would like more games that have voiceover like that too. Also, because that is such a common voice. I don't know who they got that did that voice, but I feel like I want them to do like a book that I can just listen to fall asleep. Whoops! Oh, crap! I was reading chat and then I died. Oh! God. The name of the game is Never Alone. Never Alone. There has been a lot of move toward more games made by, um, uh, you know, by people who are not of the two big behemoths, right? Um, and I can link some of those either in Discord or Canvas later. Oh, shit. So it is true that if you die as the fox, you lose. He got yeeted. He did. I have in fact played this game several times. I do in fact know how to. If you die as the fox, you die in real life. Yeah, basically. So, okay, so I see what you're saying, Blizzard. So, if I had gone back, what you would have seen is that, yes, the polar bear can swim. However, what happened is the polar bear kept sliding on the thin ice, and so that couldn't get up to catch me before I could get away. That's what's actually happening. Okay, so can I just say y'all are very depressing today? We're talking about infanticide, global warming, like what? Is it the pandemic? It's midterm season? Yeah, that kind of day. I mean, I'm not complaining. I just want to check in. Like, are y'all okay? What is it? Which button is it? Nope. Lady, we see it. Okay, so anyways, that's the button. Yeah, so in Assassin's Creed, oh, you're talking about 4. In Assassin's Creed 3, they did that also. Assassin's Creed does kind of have a reputation for being pretty good about that. Oh, whoops, I missed. Anyways, enough about representation. Not that it's not important, it is very, very important, but like I said, we're going to deal with that later in the semester. I really got to learn some patience. So this article is whoops. Oh god, I made it. I thought I was gonna die there. The graphics are beautiful, aren't they? Yeah, so this article, I also often play with replacing this article with something else. Girl, get up there. I've actually never played this in co-op. Someday.
And
the reason I think of replacing it sometimes is because there's one too many strawman arguments in here. So the authors are trying to make the argument that that play can do serious good, but this was written in like 2014, and by that point, all of the game scholars already knew that. So it's possible that they were trying to talk to a non-scholarly audience, but then again, if that was the case, then they probably should have not written a scholarly article. But it works great for a class paper. So yeah, so what good can video games do? Does anybody know some of the things that video games get used for? Besides learning, because that's like what our whole semester is about. This is a question, however, I will tell you this. You wouldn't necessarily know this from your readings, so, you know, there will be other questions that you can get actual answers to. Yes, it can be used in treating, I would say treating PTSD, because they don't heal it. As far as I know, PTSD can't be cured, just dealt with. Used to simulate various things is not enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for retraining after strokes, I've heard of that as well. The PTSD thing, I've heard about that as well. There are actually a lot of therapeutic uses for games. Oh, I will have to look that up. I have not heard about that, about autism. Oh, wow. That was like super jump. LeBron said he used to study player skills and attributes to scout opponents on NBA 2K. Really? Oh, shit. Yeah, so it looks like you guys know what's going on. That's great. Just waiting for the wind. So interesting. Somebody mentioned the pandemic. I, from the start, thought, wow, I'm really glad I'm a gamer. It's going to take me a lot longer to crack. And I think that's actually true if I look at some of my family members who aren't. Um, all right, so we're going to cut that question. And oh, what did I do? I forgot to put timestamps up. Wow. Bad professor. 257. Yeah, right? F for village.
Diversearluallu tikitkaa aimaarpini. Agalaan maluunaqsingamalaq.
But here's the
Inñuquluq
thing, and here's the problem I have with this article,
tikimangamaluq
is that several places they talk about how video games are more than just
Ibahalaqsimalaq
simplistic
suvattain.
entertainment. And as several of you have pointed
Tikatsakkuma
out um,
paqiqqaangaarnaguaq
in the chat already,
ivaqtani
when you were talking about things like stress relief, is
nunaaqkat
entertainment
siuaqaniqersoq
is not
innuit
superfluous. Um,
toquttaqtaavaniqasit
Relaxation, resting, entertainment, doing things just for fun. These are not superfluous things that we could just get rid of and survive as a species, right? Because there's this thing called mental health.
Diversearluallu upperingitkaa tautuktani tautugunaq tuaqsunapayaaq
And we are not machines. We cannot just work 24/7 and continue functioning. In fact, when we push ourselves too hard, even if it's not to the point of actually breaking down, whether that be physically or mentally, we don't work efficiently. And so then we end up just wasting our time. So yeah, so this is like one of my big problems with this. And like I said, this article's from like 2014, and by this point, game scholars already knew this. This was not news. Okay, I need to catch the wind going that way. So hold and then jump. Do I go to oh. I keep going off screen. It's quite annoying. Furthermore, this idea of needing time off, of needing entertainment, rest, whatever, that in and of itself is also not new. And by not new, I mean before my grandparents were born, people were rioting in order to get an 8-hour workday. In history classes, I have learned about things like riots over weekends, time off, living wage, which has to mean more than just being able to of food and shelter, right? But like needing. Yes. Oh! Ah, jump, you can do this. Enough money for small pleasures. This is no joke, right? That's why it also pisses me off when people do things and be like, oh, I'm sure you've seen this in the news. I mean, capitalism is completely inhumane. Feel free. This idea that somebody should always be productive is ridiculous. In fact, one of the big problems I have with capitalism, especially being a game scholar, is that capitalism keeps colonizing hobbies, right? It used to be that people would like do things for fun, and now it's like, no, we have to monetize it or make them feel bad for having fun and not being productive and not making money. And yet that is literally not how human beings work. I probably should have paid attention to that dialogue, and now I don't remember what I'm supposed to do. Capitalism is actually a very poor motivator. Other things motivate people much more. Come on, do it. Oh. Flacco, we cut that already. Anyways, there's my rant about capitalism for the day. The for real money services, are those allowed now? Because back in original WoW, those were all forbidden. The real money trade was all black market. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here and saying like, oh, we should go to socialism or communism or anything else, because I think that all of the things we have right now are basic. Oh, did I die? Nope, I'm good. Are pretty bad. Got it. So what we really need is somebody to come up with something better. Oh, right. In-game gold for game time. I did know that. Okay, but all of that ranting aside, because I really did just really want to make sure that it was very clear that we should not diminutize, oops, wrong button, play for its own sake. That's not to say that things can't be gained from games, right? Which is what we were talking about in the first question. I think I go this way. So for example, in the article they talk about how video game play may result in more fundamental changes in the way players see the world and process information. Relate this back to when we played Civ. That was last week, right? I think so. I'm gonna die now for not paying attention. Yep, there we go. So the quote was, hold on, I need to pause so I don't die here. The quote from the article was, video game play may result in more fundamental changes in the way players see the world and process information. Relate this back to the discussion we had about Civ last week. So what I'm asking for here is, we talked about Civ, about learning how different decisions affect how players see the world, right? So I think the example from last week's article was about isolationism, right? So isolationism can be good in the early stages and for small countries, but it goes very badly later on, right? And nobody is high in class, and if they are, they certainly aren't going to talk about it, and neither is anybody else. Oh my God. Don't talk about that in front of your professor. What is wrong with you? I just have to say that because I did. Oh my God, I am totally typing it in. You all are like super not here today. I'm gonna ad lib the quote. There it is. Oh, shit. I'm gonna play as the fox. I'm better as the fox. I swear to God, I hit the spacebar. And now I'm on the wrong character. Oh my God. So that question is for credit, y'all. Oh, right. Shit. Oh! Almost, but not quite. I was so far away. I will say that is one thing that kind of bugs me a little bit about this game is I feel like the hitboxes are not always where they should be. So that's a good one. By playing Civ, you become aware of general history and imagery of countries that you may have not known before. Additionally, it makes you think about civilization structures and how they work in the real world as you find out what strategies are working for you in the game. This can lead to a change in your thoughts on societal structures. Right. It can also give you a clearer idea of how things work. Like, how does isolationism work? How does traditionalism work? What does it do to a culture if you are built on ideas of honor, right, which is very military oriented? Um, American culture tends to be fairly military oriented. She's cuddling the fox. I never paused long enough for that to happen, and it's the cutest thing. I went too far over. Yeah, so you have these different historical perspectives, right? But also it gives you a different view. So here's the thing, right? History is written by the victors. I'm assuming that by this age, you know that, right? By this age, you don't think that, like, there's one version of history and the version you know is true, right? We all old enough to know that's not how the world works. And so yeah, so Civ gives you, oh my God, you know, a different view. Um, Right. So you're not going to get from Civ a a detailed version of history anyways, because you have too much agency to show how things or to decide how things will work, right? However, it does give you this systemic view of how things work, not necessarily how they did work, right? So it's about understanding systems over facts. It's about learning interactions versus dates, um, which can make you change the way you see the world. I mean, now it might make more sense if you hear in the news about like some small country trying to isolate and not interact with the international world. And that might seem really weird to us, but if they're a smaller, newer country, all of a sudden it can make a lot of sense on why they might do that. Oh, yeah, here we go. So how about a game like this? What is this showing us in terms of worldview? Aside from the fact that I'd be dead now if I was really here. Whoa! Damn! Ugh. All right, so 314, we're cutting the Civ question because I want you to tell me what this game is showing you. No, don't fall, don't fall. Come on, come on, come on. That's better. Thank you. Okay, but what does exposing you to a new culture do? I want you to go deeper than that. I want you to think about it, right? Like, we talk about how exposure to different cultures is a good thing, right? And like we really do talk about this all the time, right? People are like, "Oh, you should do a study abroad. It's good for you. You should learn a new language. It's good for you." But why? Why are these things good for us? Oops. Yeah. Oh my God! Did you hear the crying of that wolf? It's so sad. Why do we care how Inuit people express their lives artistically? All right, there you go, Ninja Taco. I love it. The problem is when you learn about another culture, most people just learn it as if it was, oh my God, let me go back. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Exit. When you learn about another culture, most people just learn it as all the ways they are backwards compared to me. This is a very Eurocentric way of looking at things, right? And it's very important, and I'm very happy that you brought that up because every time I go back to the game, it does that. Don't know why, it's weird. Um, Wait, do I want to bolo this thing? Here's the thing. This Eurocentric idea of like, okay, we know what's really happening and they don't. Um, but this is another way of knowing, right? So like I said, with all of my Western scientific knowledge, blah, 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 if I was in this situation, I would be dead. However, here we have a people who are using a different way of knowing the world, and lo and behold, they survive. Also, I have bad aim. Um, but the other thing, I mean, besides, I'm just going to try from this direction. Besides from like, oh, this way is right or wrong, there's also the fact that um, through cultural mixing, uh, we actually progress. Um, do I not? There we go. This game can be played as co-op. I've never done it, but it can be. Um, because by being able to view the world in other ways, you come up with new ideas and new solutions to problems, right? Think about this like thinking outside of the box. But here's the thing. If you are never exposed to any ideas outside of your own head, you cannot think outside of the box. It is that exposure that allows you to do that. Oh, shoot, I'm gonna die. There we go. So yes, but it's important to know, or to note, that if we have humanity unite, that cannot mean erasure of peoples. All right, so what do I mean? So some people talk about how, oh, well, if we had, so I've heard people say, well, if we just had one world government, whoops, that everything would be fine. We could all just be the same, and then there'd be no fighting. But we can't all be the same. Because otherwise we're just going to stagnate. Diversity, y'all have taken like biology by now, right? You know about like evolution, genetic diversity, this is what makes people stronger. Guess what? It's the same can be said, for culture, basically. It also does bridge the gap between cultures so that people are less ethnocentric. Does anybody know that word? I'm going to bring in a little anthropology here. Can anyone tell me what ethnocentric means? Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Yes, basically believing that your way of life is the best. It is believing that your culture is right, everybody else's is wrong, that yours is the most advanced and everybody else's is backwards. That's a good point, Taylor. If you have a situation where a player sits down to a game like this and they are strongly ethnocentric, they're probably not going to get to the message that is possible, um, which is very unfortunate. And that's also very true. I will never forget. I will never forget. I almost died. And by died, I mean I almost not just spit in this guy's food, but barfed in it. I was waitressing many years ago when I was trying to get through school. I was a master's student in anthropology. And I was waiting on this table, and this guy talked about how he had traveled in all of the backwoods areas of China, um, and that Americans had a very wrong idea about poverty, because in these spaces, what he saw were a whole bunch of people who were much happier than Americans are, and that happiness was due to their extreme poverty. Now, he was not talking to me, he was talking to the guy who was at his table, but he said that while I was bringing his food. And yeah, I think, like, I have had customers do a lot of messed up shit, but right there, I mean, that was like 15 years ago, and I still remember it. That's how much it pissed me off. Because what that was is that was a man who was so ethnocentric about his view of the world that he couldn't even see what was before him. The idea that poverty breeds happiness was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever heard. But people here have this idea that if you are in poverty, that you either are extremely lazy or that you sit around crying all the time. There's no depth of being that is allowed. In our culture. Oh, get, come on, get. Come on, bear, try it. Dare you. Dare you. Whoa! Shit. Mm-hmm. Where are the fish? Where are the fish? Okay, so I think there's a scenario where I can, like, get on the fish that were here, but now they're gone. Oh. Bola the bear? Oh, I can hit him! Wow. How can I not remember this? I've played this game so many times, and I literally just don't remember this scene at all. Okay, there's the fish. There's the fish. Okay, so the fish matter. That's why the fish matter. Be at one with nature. Nature helps you. Oh my god, the bear's still there. Are you serious? Dude, I am like a tiny little girl. There's not enough meat on me for you to want me. So that's the truth. I don't remember this game being as distracting as it is now. Polar bears are freaking scary when they're not behind glass. Take a picture with your phone. Pull the VOD up on your phone and then take a screenshot there. All right, so I feel like we have covered a lot, and it sounds like everyone is on board that the world sucks, we're stuck in the pandemic, polar bears are scary, representation is important, and play can in fact do a lot of good. Is there anything else I'm missing in this summary? I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. All right, does anyone have any questions for me about anything we covered? So if you unless you answered the very first question, I put the timestamps up on the screen. Right? You can see chat like as a part of the actual gameplay. Oh, no! No, that was bad. Oh, wow. Mark? I feel like up is the way I actually want to go. Wait, who needs to watch their profanity? I know you're not talking to me, are you? I was trying to wall jump. And then I think I glitched. The fox looks dead. The game's not ending. I'm gonna just try to... I don't know what to do here. The fox is glitching. And now it's not glitching. Oh, it's gonna die there. Yes? No? Okay. There we go. Not back to reality. Yep. So does that mean there's no... Oh, now I have that song stuck in my head. Thanks, guys. Does that mean there's no questions? There was a secret up there, and I was trying to get to it, but then when the guy glitched, I was like, oh, okay. But let's check this real quick. I'll just show you this. So you have these cultural insights. Now, I will say this. As much as I love this game, I find the way they did the cultural insights to be a little bit jarring. Yeah, you should receive feedback on the journals. I don't know if I would say a lot of feedback because it's just about your experiences, right? This isn't like a formal paper that's getting graded. But yeah, so let me show you what I mean. So you leave the game. in order to get these. Now, if this was the first time I was playing this, these would actually pop up as a part of the game, right? If I'd gotten up to that secret, you would have seen it because I actually don't think I ever unlocked that one. These didn't pop up in the game because I've played this game enough that everything's unlocked, right? But this would pop up. I would have the choice to skip it, which I feel like a lot of people might do that, and then they're going to miss out on all of this information. So I think better design would have been to, in some way, incorporate these lessons into the game.
Doesn't do too much harm to the world.
Love and respect.
Because they're kind of like cutscenes, but cutscenes put forward the narrative that you are playing through, and these don't. These are tangentially related, and so they're just kind of removed from the game.
The importance of sharing with one another, the importance of spirituality, and the connection to the land, our traditions, how we hunt, sharing of stories and songs and dances.
I'm Inupiaq. I'm from the Arctic Ocean.
These aren't very long, so I'm just going to let it play.
It's who I am as a person.
And we're very proud of who we are, and we want to continue that.
Bears might shoot him. Yeah, no, they are so endangered. If you run into a polar bear in the wild, if I run into the polar bear in the wild, I'm already dead. I'm clearly a spirit looking at that bear. If I'm facing a bear, I'm endangered. You're both endangered.
One of the things I think a lot of people need to understand is we
I didn't want to play that again. What happened? Slowly? What? I don't know. All right. Oh, loud. So I have only one more discussion question in case anybody missed it. Other way. Come, go this way, and then that way. There we go. She can stand far enough back as long as there's only one person here. And here's what we do. Whoa! Oh, you know what? I didn't realize the fox was gonna be right there. Yeah, so anyways, I was gonna give you that one last question, right? And that was how the article you read, oh, I didn't get them. Also made reference to some learning things that were very much like G's principles. Come on, aim. Aiming is a thing. Can anyone tell me what they are? What are these learning methods that mirror G's principles? Oh, shit. Oh, there we go. The little figure showing. No. Well, okay. Yeah, yes, what you said is true, and I can't believe I died just after the boss fight. I hope they saved it, yeah. I meant in the article. What things in the article did the authors talk about that mirror G's principles? From the article. Not from this game. So I'll give you... I'll give you an example. In the article, they talk about learning and failing, which mirrors the idea of pleasantly frustrating. How video games are covered by incompetent writers. Wait, is that true? I like literally forgot that. Hold on. Or maybe I was just too busy paying attention to other parts. Oh, it wasn't in the article. Ooh. Oh, which article? No wonder. I was sitting here like, how did I miss that? That's the type of thing that 100% would have jumped out at me. Mhm. Oh, the web article, not this one. Okay. I am there with you. Ugh. Yeah, so I was actually just talking about this. In ethical games journalists. So this goes beyond just game journalism. I was just having this conversation with my roommate the other day because what both of us have noticed is we we have both read articles, attended presentations like at professional conferences and whatnot um, by people who in any other respect I would probably think are very smart, but who know nothing about actual game scholarship. And then these people, this might not be the actual right way to go, will then make a whole bunch of claims about games, game scholarship, and where it's at, and they literally know nothing about what they're talking about, like at all, and it's infuriating. There was a presentation my roommate was telling me about the other day, and this person was just talking about how there's no toxicity in tabletop gaming culture, and she knew this because she had never experienced it. And like, and one of the things that really infuriated both of us is like, sure, maybe this woman had never experienced it, but here's the thing. with a very, very low level Google search, I'm not even talking about doing actual real research here, this woman could have seen all sorts of examples of toxicity in TTRPG culture. But she didn't bother to do that, right? She just pretended like she was an expert, and then started making a whole bunch of public claims. And I think it does a huge disservice to game scholarship, to um, game journalism, and everything. It's infuriating, utterly infuriating. Yeah, the most valuable sample size, yourself and one, exactly, right? I also don't remember this part. That's obviously not the way I'm going. I think maybe I go back down here, actually. That's a good one. Variability of learning, which is kind of like customization. Very good. I think I'm dying. I'm stuck. No, that's just where I was. All right. All right, we are at 3:45, and I asked if anyone else had questions like 10 minutes ago. Nobody did, which is fine. That's not a complaint. But I'm guessing then that that's it. So class is over. Thank you. Not sure where to go. I get it. Oh, shit! Accidentally changed characters. Not a good idea. All right. Anyways, I have other meetings and stuff to go to, so I'm gonna actually log off. Bye, everybody.